Konnichiwa minasan. Kyo watashi tachi wa Nihongo o benkyou shite imasu. Hello everyone. Today we are studying Japanese. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask at any time. We're going to be trying something new. We're going to be using the Kotu, which is meant for practicing of how to pronounce things correctly. Let's see. Picks accent minimum pairs perception test before starting. This test uses the syllable after the accent mora in a word to indicate a pitch drop. For example, takai is pronounced low, high, low. Okay, so okay. Takai and machi kai is pronounced low, high, high, low. Machi kai. If the word is flat, heiban, there is no such as kuro, kuruma, yeah, low, high, high, kuruma. Rises in pitch. It's not really flat, but it just stays the same after the initial change. Okay. And also, as I remember being read the rises in pitch or in pronunciation in these pitch patterns is the rise from low to high is actually a lot smaller of a gap than the high to low. So I guess you could think of in a low high low word, uh, the pitch will actually, if you look at like more of the number value of it, would be more like middle high low, since the drop is going to be more than the raise. Okay, all auto and potential answers on this test are real words, but the purpose of the test is not to think of words because that would simply be test and recall, but rather to test your picks, accent perception by simply choosing the correct notation based on how the recording sounds. There's a slight falling contour at the end of heiban words in this test because the words are set in isolation. It's important to be able to distinguish that slight falling contour from the actual accent, and the test will be something you become able to do as you get used to the test. It's actually a quick review on the pitch accents in Japanese. Let's see. Japanese pitch accents. One moment, as I find an article about it. Okay, Japanese is a pitch accent language. Slight differences in this in the pitch of sounds are used to differentiate words and convey sentence structure. This is a little distinct from stress accented languages such as English, where certain sounds are emphasized by changing both the pitch and duration. In Japanese, the duration of each sound that makes up a word known as mora is the same, and only the pitch varies. As a result of this rhythmic consistency, it is sometimes inaccurately claimed that Japanese does not have accents, but this is not true. The pitch does vary within the words and sentences, and if you do not reproduce this accurately when you speak, your Japanese will not sound natural. In some cases, multiple words use the same sounds but with different pitch, so you may actually be hard to understand if your pitch is incorrect. An example of this is hashi, which depending on the pitch will mean a bridge and chopstick. As for which one I just say, I don't know pitch accents that well enough, so. Oh. Though, if you're in Japan and you're talking to a shopkeeper, you can say bridge and they'll pretty much figure out that you mean chopsticks if you're asking for chopsticks. If you're ordering food. When you read about Japanese pitch accents, you will often encounter the term mora. Okay. The term is a linguistic term used to refer to a single unit of sound in a language. In English, we use the term syllable for sounds that make up a word. Although the terms are sometimes used interchangeably, they are slightly different. Both syllables and moras refer to sounds that make up words in a language. In a language such as English, which is not rhythmic or timed, the sounds that make up a word may have different durations, so the standard unit of sound is a syllable. By the way, I had a suspicion that this may be why the way what you heard watashi tachi or watash uh notice how when I first was pronouncing it back in the Rosetta Stone lesson, I was basically pronouncing it as watashi, but as I heard the Japanese speaker, I started to change to watash. And I have a feeling it has something to do with the more why it's being pronounced like that. At least that's my theory. Okay. Japanese, however, is a rhythmic language with each consecutive sound having the same duration, so the standard unit of sound is a mora. Mora is singular, and the plural is usually moras in modern English, but since it is derived from the Latin word morae, is also acceptable. First, the good news. All Japanese words use one of just four pitch accents patterns. If you ensure that your speech always uses one of the four patterns, you will sound natural 90% of the time, even if you occasionally get the wrong pattern. The most unnatural sounding Japanese comes from using a pitch pattern that does not actually exist in Japanese because it is a mistake that no native speaker would ever make. Let's take a look at these patterns one by one. Heiban. The word heiban literally means flat board, so this accent pattern is generally held to mean accentless, i.e. flat intonation. In fact, in any Heiban word with more than one mora, the first mora is pronounced with a slightly lower pitch, and then all the remaining moras are pronounced with a high pitch. Any particular following, any particle following the word is also pronounced high. So, ki, kuni, jikan, ki,
き、き、気が、き、気が、き、気が、気が、
kiga.
気が、
Notice that how
気が、
it has that now
気が、
na sound to it.
気が、
It's because the ga is being pronounced in a nasal way.
気が、気が、気が、
Kinya, kinya, kuni,
国、国、国、国が、国が、国が、
kuniga,
国が、
kuniga, jikan,
時間、時間、
jikan,
時間、
jikan,
時間、
jikan,
時間が、時間が、時間が、
jikanga,
jikanga.
Okay, so heiban, or low, and then the rest high, including the particle. Okay. Atamataka. Atamadaka. Atamadaka. Atamadaka means high end. So in this pattern, the first mora is high, and then all subsequent moras are pronounced with low pitch. The drop in pitch is larger than the small rise in pitch we saw at the beginning of Heiban words. Any particle following the word is also pronounced with a low pitch. Essentially, Atamadaka is the opposite of Heiban. Itsu,
いつ、
itsu,
いつ、
itsu,
いつ、
itsu,
いつ、
itsu,
いつが、
itsuga,
いつが、
itsuga,
いつが、
itsuga,
いつが、
itsu,
いつが、いつが、いつが、
itsuna,
いつが、
itsuga. It's like this weird hybrid of na and ga.
いつが、いつが、いつが、いつが、
Let's see. Tenki,
天気、天気、
tenki,
天気、
tenki,
天気、
tenki,
天気が、
tenkiga,
天気が、
tenkina,
天気が、
tenkina,
天気が、
tenkina. Mainichi, 毎日
毎日毎日
毎日
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 毎日が
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 毎日が Okay, so Heiban was first, was low then high, then Atamadaka high then low. Now Nakadaka. If you remember, Naka means in the middle. So the daka that's in the middle, or Nakadaka means middle high, and the key characteristics of this pattern is that the pitch drops from high to low somewhere within the word. The first more is low, and any particle following the word is also pronounced with a low pitch. First more is low, and any particle following the word is also pronounced with a low pitch. Okay, as with Heiban words, the rise in pitch at the beginning of the word is smaller than the drop in pitch that occurs later. All Nakadaka words have at least 3 moras. In other words, if the word doesn't have enough syllables, you know it can't be a Nakadaka. Or moras. So, hitotsu, hitotsu,
一つ一つ
hitotsu,
一つ一つ一つ一つ
hitotsu,
一つ
hitotsu,
一つ
hitotsu,
一つが
hitotsu ga,
一つが
hitotsu
一つ
nya
が
ga, hitotsu nya,
一つが
hitotsu ga, hitotsu ga. Let's see. Spot, spatsu, spatsu.
スポーツ
Oh, sportsu,
スポーツ
sportsu,
スポーツ
sports,
スポーツ
sports, sports, sportsu,
スポーツスポーツ
sportsu,
スポーツ
sportsu.
スポーツ
I also suspect this equal time spacing of moras is the reason why in Japanese they actually have a character which means drag the sound for longer. Looks like a either a line or its character depending on horizontal line or this character depending on which sound they want you to drag or repeat.
スポーツが
Sports ga,
スポーツが
sports ga,
スポーツが
sports ga,
スポーツが
sports ga. 故障
工場工場
故
障
障 Okay.
工場
故障
工場
故障
工場 工場工場
工場
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 工場工場
工場
工場が
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 Note in Japanese, the use of a to lengthen the o sound is primarily a written convention. When pronouncing a word such as ko sho, the ko simply extended and the u is not separately pronounced and definitely not pronounced as u. That's a mistake I've made a lot of. For more, okay.
工場工場工場工
Kosho,
場
kosho. Interesting.
工場
Kosho,
工場
kosho,
工場
kosho.
工場
So we have heiban or low, high, the rest. Uh, Atamadaka, high, then low, the rest. Nakadaka, low, high, low. But it ends during the it goes to low during the word. Then Odaka is next. Odaka means tail high, and in this form, okay, the first mora is low unless the word only has a single mora. Then goes high and remains high at the end of the word. Any particle following the word has a low pitch. Ki,
き
ki,
き
ki,
き
ki,
き
ki. Wait, so it's, I guess they're implying that unless the word only has a single mora, so I guess they're implying that it's high in single mora words and it's low in non-single mora words.
木が
Kinga,
木が
kinga,
木が
kinga,
木が
kinga. So yeah, kawa, kawa,
川
kawa,
川
kawa,
川
kawa,
川
kawa,
川が
kawaga,
川が
kawaga,
川が
kawaga,
川が
kawaga. Futatsu, futatsu, futatsu,
二つ
futatsu,
二つ
futatsu,
二つ
futatsu,
二つ
futatsu,
二つが
futatsuga,
二つが
futatsuga,
二つが
futatsuga,
二つが
futatsuga,
二つが二つが二つが
futatsu na.
二つが
Futatsu na. So, otaku. Okay, so we have hei, heiban, low, and then high. Atama daka, high and then low. Nakadaka, low, low, high, low, all within the same word. And then continuing into the particle low, and then odaka. If I understand it correctly, it's low, then high throughout the rest of the word, but then it's low in the particle instead of being high in the particle like it is with atamadaka. Odaka. Let's start with the most useful rule. Any word that is not a particle has a fixed pitch accent. It will be the same whenever you encounter. It will be the same whenever you encounter it. Okay, let's start with the most useful. Any word that is not a particle has a fixed pitch accent. It will be the same whenever you encounter it. If you learn the pitch accent of a word, that's all you need to accent it correctly. However, you may not always know the pitch of a word. Next, we'll cover some rules that will help you guess correctly most of the time. Rule 1. If the first more is low, the second more is high, and vice versa. Kuni and itsu.
国国
Kuni,
国
kuni,
国
kuni. Itsu,
いつ
itsu,
いつ
itsu,
いつ
itsu,
いつ
itsu. Konnichiwa, bin zerga jiji. Genki desu ka? Yeah, that's right. Let's see, in all three of them, let's see. Heiban, Atamadaka, Nakadaka, and Odaka, they always oscillate after to the other pitch after the first mora. So yes, okay. Rule 2. Once you go low, stay low. We can see something else from our four patterns. Once the pitch of a word goes low, it will stay low until the end of the word. No matter how long the word is, there will only ever be at most 3 pitches, low, then high, then low again. Note that this rule does not apply to particles or all inflected forms. We'll cover that in, okay. So, hitotsu, hitotsu,
一つ
hitotsu,
一つ
hitotsu,
一つ
hitotsu,
一つ
hitotsu. Spato, spato.
スポーツ
Oh, sports.
ス ポ
Why
ー
do I
ツ
keep saying that with an A instead of an O?
スポー
Sports.
ツ
Sports.
スポーツ
Sports.
スポーツ
Sports.
スポーツ
Sports.
スポーツ
Okasan. Okasan. Okasan.
お母さんお母さん
Okasan.
お母さんお
Oka.
母さん
Okasan. See. O. Omawari-san. Omawari. Omawari-san.
おまわりさん
Omawari-san.
おまわりさん
Omawari-san.
おまわりさん
Omawari.
おまわりさん
Omari. Oh. Omawari-san. Notice in all of those are all nakadakas, and they just have one high-pitched sound. The second more and also, if you remember from the three rules, what they were saying earlier is once it goes low, it stays low. That's true for the Malchus Heiban, never goes low. Atamadaka stays low once it goes low. Nakadaka stays low once it goes low, and Odaka stays low once it goes low. They just go low at different times. If in doubt, guess Heiban. Heiban being the low then high. Right? Let's double check. Heiban is the low then high. Okay, if you're not sure of the correct accent of a word, this will be most useful. Among the 10,000 most useful words in Japanese, Heiban pattern is used about 55% of the time. So if you are completely unsure of the accent of the word, guess Heiban. Start low, then go high and stay high. You will be right more often than you are wrong. If you have any reason to believe a word is not Heiban, the next most common pattern is Atamadaka. Or in other words, so low high is the most common, and then high and then low is the second most common. Which makes sense if you think about the development of a language. Those are the simpler patterns. So if you have reason to believe a word is not Heiban, the next most common pattern is Atamadaka, which is used in about 25% of the 10,000 most useful words. This should be your second guess. Start high, then go low on the second more and stay low. After Heiban and Atamadaka, the next most common is it's Nakadaka, which is used about 15% of the time. Let's see, yeah, Nakadaka being low, high, low in the same word. However, it is hard to guess Nakadaka because the Nakadaka pattern covers all words which go low at some point in the middle of the word. The classification alone doesn't give enough information to guess where in the word you should go low. So in those earlier examples, how I said just the second mora was the high and then it went low after that, but that's not true for all nakadaka. It can go low anywhere in the world. It just needs to, and nakadaka needs to go low before the last mora, because the last mora has to be low, or else it's not nakadaka. Two more things are important to remember when you're trying to determine pitch accent. The first is that the accent of a word may change if the word is incorporated into a larger word. Additionally, when you put words together into sentences, you need to know how to address the pitch of a particle and how to handle the overall pitch of the sentence. We'll cover this in a pitch accent. Okay, bye. Commonly used. Okay. Most of the time, if you get the pitch accent of a word wrong, your Japanese will sound a little odd, but it would be perfectly understandable. However, in certain situations, it could lead to an unfortunate miscommunication. Some Japanese words use the same sounds, known as homonyms, and are distinguished based on pitch accent. So, if you use the incorrect accent, you're actually using the incorrect word. Below are a few of the most common and important examples. Let's see, he,
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 he, he, he,
he,
he,
he. That second one was fire, and the first one was day.
he,
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 he.
he,
That's it. Same thing. First was day, second was fire. Let's see.
ki,
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 ki.
ki. Okay, so that first one was tree, and the second one was spirit. Or as you're useful to hearing the word kiotsukete. This is the second one was ki and kiotsukete.
Ki,
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 ki.
ki. So that was tree first and then spirit second again.
Ichi,
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 ichi.
ichi,
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 ichi.
ichi. Okay, that first one was one, and the second one was position.
Ichi,
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 ichi.
ichi,
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 ichi.
ichi. Same thing again. First was one, second one was position. Kami.
紙
Kami.
紙
Kami.
紙
Kami.
紙
Kami.
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 Kami. Kami.
Kami.
Kami.
Kami.
Kami.
Kami.
Kami.
Kami. Uh, Assuming that this isn't an error, it's showing that was paper and hair, and it's showing the same pitch accent for both. But compare that to this.
神
Kami.
神
Kami.
神
Kami.
神
Kami. Now that was God. That uses the high-low, while the other two use the low, high. Okay, so the first two it shows as odaka, or low, high, low, but the low happens during the particle. And the third one, it showed it as a atamadaka, or high and then low after that. Hana. Hana.
花
Hana.
花
Hana.
花
Hana.
花
Hana.
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 Hana. So the first one was flower, and it was a odaka. The second one was a nose, and it is a flower odaka, or low, high, low during the particle. And the second one was nose, and it was a low, high, or a heiban. See, so asa morning, asa flax. Then yoi, yoi,
用意用意
yoi,
用意
yoi,
用意
yoi, use,
用意用意用意用意用意用意用意
yoi,
用意
yoi, ease, or so the first one was a atamataka, high then low, and the second one was a heiban, low and then high. Oh, let's see. Here's one I wanted to see. Hashi,
橋
hashi,
橋
hashi,
橋
hashi,
橋
hashi. Okay, that is bridge.
橋橋
Hashi.
橋
Hashi. Okay. That is
橋
hashi. You can't really hear the difference between those two because they didn't bother to pronounce the particle. But the first one was an odaka, or low, high, then low during the particle, and then the second one was a heiban, or low and then high. And then we have
hashi
hashi,
箸
hashi,
箸
hashi,
箸
hashi. That's a atamadaka, or high and then low. Pitch accents for particles, inflected verbs, and adjectives. Okay, the pitch accents of a particle is determined by the accent type of the word it follows. For example, heiban words, the particle's pitch is high. Kaisha ga.
会社が
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 Kaisha ga.
会社が会社が
Okay.
会社が
Okay. For atamadaka, nakadaka, and odaka words, the particle pitch is low. Segai ga.
世界が
Sekai ga.
世界が
Sekai ga.
世界が
Sekai ga.
世界が
Sekai ga. Okay, and then that was a atamadaka. Then nihon ga.
日本が
Nihon ga.
日本が
Nihon ga.
日本が
Nihon ga. That's a
日
nakadaka.
本が
Kotoba ga. Kotoba ga.
言葉が
Kotoba ga.
言葉が言葉が言葉
Kotoba.
が
Kotoba ga. Verbs and inflections. The pitch accents of the polite forms of verbs and a few other forms are the same for all types of verbs. Mas form, imas, or imas.
言います
Imasu,
言います
imasu,
言います
imas,
言います
imas, imas, imasu, imas. Polite past form, imashita,
言いました
imashita,
言いました
imashita.
言いました
Okay, so
言いました
imashita. So these are both nakadakas. Mas negative. Imasen. Imasen.
言いません
Imasen.
言いません
Imasen.
言いません
Imasen.
言いません
Imasen. Polite past negative. Imasen deshita. Imasen deshita.
言いませんでした
Imasen
言い
deshita.
ませんでした
Imasen deshita.
言いませんでした言いませんでした
So, okay, tai form, or in other words, to say you want something form. itai, itai, itai,
言いたい、
itai,
言いたい、
itai,
言いたい、
itai,
言いたい。
itai. Okay, for other forms, the pitch depends on the category of the verb. As we say in sections 3, most Japanese words are heiban, and this is especially true for verbs. Nearly 65% of the most useful 1,000 verbs in Japanese are heiban. Pitch accents for inflected forms of heiban are straightforward. Most are heiban. See, okay, above it said, okay, the pitch accents of polite forms of verbs and a few other forms are the same for all types of verbs. So polite form, it's using in nakataka, okay. But for these other forms, it's using, see, plain, you,
言う、言う、言う、
you,
言う、
plain negative, iwanai,
言わない、
iwanai,
言わない、
iwanai,
言わない、
iwanai,
言わない、
iwanai. Past, ita,
言った、
ita,
言った、
ita,
言った、
ita.
言った。
The following forms of heiban verbs do not follow the heiban pattern, and these forms do not have this. Oh, wait. For other forms, the pitch action depends on the category of verb. Okay. Okay, so for those forms mentioned, plain, plain negative, past, te, potential, passive, causative, it follows the pronunciation pattern of the word it came from. But for these, the following heibai verbs do not follow the heibai pattern, and these forms do not have the same pattern in non-heibai verbs. Okay, so past negative. Alright, iwa nakatta. Iwa nakatta.
言わなかった、
Iwa nakatta.
言わなかった、
Iwa nakatta.
言わなかった、
Iwa nakatta.
言わなかった。
Iwa nakatta. Let's see. Conditional. Ieba. Ieba. Ieba.
言えば、言えば、
Ieba.
言えば、
Ieba.
言えば、
Ieba. Volitional. Io. Io. Io.
いよ
Io.
う、いよ
Io.
う、いよ
Io. No,
う、いよ
Yo. This that thing about oo just being after an o means to extend the o sound. That actually might be a good explanation for why Tokyo is spelt the way it is in Romanji. if you've ever looked at the hiragana of it, you notice there's the hiragana actually spells out I believe it's Toukou. Let's see. Yes, Toukyou. Okay, verbs that are not heiban are either atamakata, nakakata, or nakakata. There are no odaku verbs. Almost all of the uh, atamadaka verbs have only two moras. Most non-negative forms of atamadaka verbs are also atamadaka miru, miru,
見る、
miru,
見る、見る、
miru, mita.
見る、
Okay. Mita,
見た、
mita,
見た、
mita,
見た、
mita,
見た、
mita. Mite,
見て、
mite,
見て、
mite,
見て、
mite,
見て、
mite. Conditional, okay. Mireba, mireba, mireba,
見れば、
mireba,
見れば、
mireba,
見れば、見れば、
mireba, mireba, mireba. Nakataka verbs are a little more difficult to predict, but some generalizations do exist. The step down in the plain form always occurs for the final mora. Taberu, taberu,
食べる、食べる、
taberu,
食べる、
taberu,
食べる、
taberu, taberu. For Nakataka verbs, for the past tense conditional forms, the step down is on the third to last mora. Tabe, tabeta, tabeta,
食べた、
tabeta,
食べた、
tabeta,
食べた、
tabeta,
食べた、
tabete,
食べて、
tabete,
食べて、
tabete,
食べて、食べて、
tabete. And then tabereba, tabereba, tabereba,
食べれば、
tabereba,
食べれば、
tareba,
食べれば、
tabereba.
食べれば、
So, we did come here to do some Kotu and not go too heavily into pitch accents, so let's continue with that. So maybe these instructions will make a little more sense now. This test uses the symbol after the accident mortar in a word to indicate a pitch drop. For example, takai is pronounced takai is pronounced low, high, low, and machikai is pronounced low, high, high, low. If the word is flat, heiban, there is no dash, such as kuruma, kuruma, low, high, high. Okay. Rises in pitch are not or noted. Rises in pitch are not noted in any words. From okay, all audio. Okay. So let's try this.
汽車汽車汽車汽車
Chisha,
汽車汽車
chisha,
汽車
chisha,
汽車
chisha.
上越
Okay. Oh, that was Atamadaka, okay.
上越上越
Joetsu,
上越上越
Joetsu,
上越
Joetsu,
上越
Joetsu.
Joetsu. Joetsu.
Joetsu. So after answering, you can click the above option to hear the audio. Okay. Okay, so this is the history of the correct. This is the correct answers. And red means I got it wrong. Green means I got it right. So it's really Joetsu. Okay. I see it's put showing Heiban and Odaka together in this test because without a particle in the end, you can't tell the difference between Heiban and Odaka. Well, you probably could in some single syllable words, but like ki,
Yoki.
yoki,
Yoki.
yoki,
Yoki.
yoki. Okay, so there was a pitch drop. Okay, so that was an atamadaka. Yoki,
Yoki. Yoki.
yoki,
Yoki. Yoki. Yoki.
yoki. I should probably suspect any case of seeing OU combo in the, like you see here, that it's probably going to be have a drop in it. Okay.
すべすべ、
Sube sube.
すべすべ、
Sube sube.
すべすべ、
Sube sube.
すべすべ、すべすべ、すべすべ、すべすべ、すべすべ、
Sube sube.
3、
Okay. Okay, so that was either a Heiban or Odaku word. Sube sube. Okay. San.
3、3、
San.
3、
San.
3、
San.
3、3、
San.
3、
San.
3、
一方、
Okay, so that was either Heiban or Odaku. So san. Ippo.
一方、
Ippo.
一方、
Ippo. Ippo. Ippo.
一方、
Ippo.
なりもの、
Okay, so that was a nakadaka. Ippo. Ippo. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Okay. Narimono.
なりもの、
Narimono.
なりもの、
Narimono.
なりもの、
Narimono.
なりもの、
Narimono. Okay, so that was also a nakadaka. Narimono.
なりもの、
Narimono.
なりもの、
Narimono.
なりもの、
Narimono.
現山、
Ginzan.
現山、
Ginzan.
現山、
Ginzan.
現山、
Ginzan. Okay, so that was an atamadaka. So that was a high, then followed by a low. Atamadaka. Okay. Genzan. Genzan.
漢族、
Kanzoku.
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 関属
kanzoku.
この方
Okay. 432. 432. この方。
この方
この方。
この方
この方。
この方
この方。
この方
この方。
この方
この方。この方。この方。Okay, it's asking, is this a
この方この方
この方。
この方
この方。Fine. Okay, so okay, so this, oh, I see how you can tell this between Heiban and Odaka. This mark on the end drops at the end means this is a Odaka. So starts low, goes high, then drops for particle. Kono kata. Kono kata.
ほら
Hora.
ほら
Hora. Hora.
ほら
Hora.
ほら
Hora. Okay, this is an Odaka. Start. Oh,
ほらほらほらほら
that's right. That raw is definitely not low. So, yeah, this is an Odaka.
入量入量
Nuryo. Nuryo.
入量入量
Okay, these two guesses are saying, is it a Heiban? Because notice there's no down at the end, which means it's not an Odaka. Or is it a... Yeah, this would be a New York. Yeah, this would be a Nakadaka. So let's see. 632.
入量
New York.
入量
New York.
入量入量入量
New York.
塩釜
Okay, so yeah, that was a Nakadaka. Okay.
塩釜塩釜
Shiogama.
塩釜
Shiogama. That sounds like a Nakadaka.
塩釜
That's weird. This. Yeah. This is wrong right here. That circle should not be with a. There's no situation in which that let's see, Dakuten, Han Dakuten. That should be the Dakuten mark, not the Han Dakuten mark. Shiogama,
塩釜
Shiogama. See, Shiogama. So this is saying, is it a Heiban? And no, it does not sound. It sounds like a Nakataka. So Shiogama.
府中
Yes. Fuchu. Okay, let's see. This is saying, is it a Nakataka? And this is saying, is it a oh yeah, it's saying, is it a Atamadaka?
府中府中
Fuchu.
府中府中
Fuchu. 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 So it was a Nakataka.
ダブダブ
Dabu dabu.
ダブダブ
Dabu dabu.
Dabu dabu.
Dabu dabu.
Dabu dabu.
Dabu dabu.
Dabu dabu.
Dabu dabu. So this is saying, is it Heiban? And this is saying, is it Atamadaka? Dabu dabu.
Dabu dabu.
Dabu dabu. Dabu dabu. Dabu dabu. Dabu dabu. Okay, so this was Atamadaka.
聖書
Seisho.
聖書
Seisho.
聖書
Seisho.
聖書
Seisho.
聖書
Seisho.
聖書
Seisho. Seisho.
聖書
Seisho. Let's see. Seisho. Say show or seisho.
聖書聖書
Seisho.
聖書聖書聖書
Seisho. This is saying, is it Atamadaka? And this is saying, is it Heiban?
聖書聖書
I'm gonna try Atamadaka. No, it's Heiban. Seisho. Seisho.
聖書。古い、
Furui.
古い、古い、
Furui. Furui.
古い、
Furui.
古い、
Furui.
古い、
Furui. Let's see, this is saying, is it, Heiban? And this is saying, is it Nakadaka? Hurui. Hurui.
古い、
Hurui.
古い、 気
Hurui.
候、
Okay, so that was Heiban. Hurui. Kiko.
気候、
Kiko. Kiko. See, this is saying, is it Atamadaka? And this is saying, is it Heiban?
気候、
Kiko. I believe this is Atamadaka. Kiko. No, it's Heiban.
気候、
Kiko. Kiko. Okay, going back to what I was reading earlier. So now we are well equipped to pronounce individual words correctly, but what happens when you put words together in sentences? How do things change? What does the overall pitch of a sentence look like? We can determine sentence level pitch by thinking of it as a combination of three rules. Pitch stays high across word boundaries until it reaches a down step. When a word that originally has a low pitch on the first more, such as 2 plus more, so that's Nakadaka or Heiban, follows a more with a high pitch. The pitch remains high on the first more of the word. But a word that ordinarily has a low pitch on the first more, such as 2 plus more, okay, so yeah, so Nakadaka and Heiban, okay, follows more with a high pitch, then the pitch remains high on the first more of the word. Let's use the sentence, Watashi wa Nihongo o benkyou shite imasu. That's a familiar sentence. Looking at the words individually, we would expect that low, high, and watashi, low, high, and nihongo, and then low, high, and benkyou, then low, high, shite, then low, high, low, and imasu. When we combine the words, we stay high until the first down step, which occurs when we reach ma and imas. So the lower pitch at the start of Nihongo Benkyo shite imasu is omitted, and the pitch stays high. That explains why they describe heiban as flat, because in an actual sentence, it is flat. So in the actual sentence, the wa is low, then tashi wa nihongo o benkyou shite ima is high, and then is low again. After a down step, the next rise in pitch is not as high as the down step. This pattern is known as terracing because it creates a pitch pattern, rather like a series of steps going down from left to right. In fact, the whole pitch of a sentence starts high and gradually shifts downward. After a down step, the next rise in pitch is not as high as the down. Yeah, I was wondering about that. The consequence of they saying the first up is not as up as the downs, so it basically lowers the pitch of your sentence the longer it goes on. Let's use this sentence as an example. I think that's, yeah, Poku wa sensei o shite imasu. I think that's Poku. Let me see. What is that kanji? Oh, Baku. I mean, Boku. Oh, that is Boku. Okay. So, Boku wa sensei o shite imasu. Unlike the first example, how we have separate down steps, Boku, sensei, and shite imasu. So, looking at the words individually, we expect to see Boku high, low, low. Okay, Boku wa high, low, low. Sensei, so low, a high, high, and then low, and then oh, okay. Shite, low, high, and imasu, low, high, low. After applying the first rule, we would expect something like Boku, high, low, wase, still low, then nse, high, and then low, oshi, then high for te imasu. In fact, this is basically correct, but simply alternating between two levels of pitch sounds unnaturally robotic, and Rule 2 tells us that the high pitch bo is a little higher than the high pitch nse, which in turn is a little higher than the high pitch of te imasu. Okay, that explains that pronunciation pattern I've been hearing in sentences where things sounded, well, I didn't really put a descriptor on it, a certain way at the end of a sentence. Usually I heard it with imas, since imas commonly goes at the end of sentences. Here's a diagram. Interesting. Okay. Basically high, low, high but not as high, low, high but not as high, low. Interesting. I noticed a pattern with how they're doing their pitches. When they go high and then followed by a low, they actually continue to drop lower and lower during the word. And then when they go high again, they go to how low they were at the beginning of the low. And they seem to be staying that high for a while. And then during the next low part, they continue to drop. And then when they go high again, they go as high as the previous, the beginning low of that low series of lows. So basically, high pitch holds the pitch, while during the low pitch, it's continuously dropping pitch. And the high always goes up as high as the highest previous low. Words you want to emphasize should have a somewhat higher pitch. That's rule 3. Okay, the pitch pattern of the word to be emphasized does not change, but the overall pitch relative to its neighbors is somewhat higher. Using the same example as in rule 2, let's say we want to emphasize the fact that we are a teacher as opposed to an astronaut. In English, we would do this by stressing the word teacher. In Japanese, we do it by giving the word sensei a relatively higher pitch. Okay, so here when they went high, low, and then when they went high again during sensei, which is a nakadaka, so it goes higher in the middle of the word. They made this high much higher than the first high. And then the low after it seems to, they seem to have the second low about as low as the first low, since they had to drop from a further height. And then it did the high again and then the low. Okay. You often encounter the term prosody in a connection with pitch accents. Prosody refers to the elements of real speech that can convey meaning over and above the words themselves. A great example of prosody would be the use of rising pitch to indicate a question for a sentence which would have otherwise be a statement. Looking at the sentence written down, you may have no idea it is a question, but if you heard it spoken out loud, the prosody would make it obvious. In Japanese, prosody is usually used to refer to changes in pitch at the sentence level that we describe in this section. Some unexpected twists. Japanese pitch accents are relatively straightforward, but as we have seen, they are not completely regular, and until repeated exposure trains your ears naturally, trying to remember the rules that govern accents can seem overwhelming. Try not to be discouraged. Correct accents can make you sound much more natural, but they are generally not vital for communication. As we have seen, most words in Japanese are heiban, and this is especially true for verbs. The heiban pattern does not exist in English, so most common mistake beginners make is imposing an English accent on heiban words. In American English, words are most commonly accented on their second syllable, which corresponds to nakadaka pattern, where the downstep occurs after the second mora of a word. Consider the word America. Consider the word America. Americans pronounce me with a slightly higher pitch and slightly longer duration. America. Though this pattern does exist in Japanese, it is not the most common pattern, so you will often sound unnatural if you use it constantly. One thing to be aware of is that numbers and counters are quite irregular. For example, hitotsu,
一つ一つ
hitotsu,
一つ
hitotsu,
一つ
hitotsu, which is a low, high, low, and futatsu,
二つ
futatsu,
二つ
futatsu,
二つ
futatsu
二つ
is a low and then high. Uh, mitsu, mitsu,
三つ三つ
oh, mitsu,
三
mitsu,
つ
mitsu
三つ
is low and then high, and then yotsu,
四つ
yotsu,
四つ
yotsu,
四つ
yotsu.
四つ
It's low and then high. Okay, this guy describes the pitch accents of words in hyo, jungo, standard Japanese, jungo. Yes, by the way, there's other ways of saying Japanese. I guess you could think of them like dialects of a region is probably the best way to think of it. Like regional dialects. For example, a southern accent would be a regional dialect. Though dialects doesn't translate 100% in Japanese as it does in English. They don't mean quite the same thing, because in English, a dialect is pronounced in the exact same sound differently. In Japanese, when you say dialect, it can mean that, but it can also mean completely removing or adding sounds altogether. So let's see. This guy describes pitch accents in Hyojungo, standard Japanese, which is a form of Japanese taught in schools and used by NHK announcers. That's a news TV show or a news show. As a result, NHK guides are the canonical source of information on this style of language. In the real world, accents vary widely around Japan, and even in Tokyo, not all of these rules are followed, despite the fact that Hyojungo is often referred to as Tokyo dialect. In some cases, differences of opinion occur in Hyojungo, and where that happens, we display each of the possible options with the most common first. Okay. Choto and choto.
Chotto.
Choto.
Chotto.
Choto.
Chotto.
Choto.
Chotto.
Choto. That was a high low.
Chotto.
Choto.
Chotto.
Choto.
Chotto.
Choto.
Chotto.
Choto. And that was a low high. The pitch accent of compound words is usually the combination of the pitch accents of the individual words. However, it is not uncommon for words to change their pattern when they get absorbed into larger words. If you want an example of being absorbed into a larger word, we have te and kami being absorbed as tegami. Let's see. Nihon. Nihon.
日本日本
Nihon.
日本日本
Nihon. Nihongo.
日本語
Nihongo.
日本語
Nihongo.
日本語
Nihon.
日
So,
本語
Nihon is low, high, low, while Nihongo is low and then high. Nihonjin, 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 Nihonjin,
日本人日本人日本人
Nihonjin,
日本人
Nihonjin. That was low, high, low. With the logo dropping right before the N. Then Nihonkai, Nihonkai, Nihonkai,
日本海日本海
Nihonkai,
日本海
Nihonkai.
日
was
本海
that was low, high, low, with the ho being the high. Most Japanese dictionaries use the same notation for defining pitch. A number indicates the more after which the downstep occurs, or 0 if there is no downstep. In other words, Heiban words represented by a 0, Atamadaka by a 1, and Odaka by a number equal to the number of more in the word. Nakadaka would be any number greater than 1 and less than the number of mores in the word. Okay. In order to use this notation, just count the number of mores in the word. Remember that the small kana symbols except are included with the previous character. So Kyo is 2 mores, but Kyo is only 1. When the pitch of a compound word is based on the pitch of the word and the When the pitch of a compound word is based on the pitch of the words it comes from, the pitch of each word is shown by that dash. When the pitch of a compound word is based on the pitch of the words it comes from, the pitch of each word is shown by the dash. Kanshudo includes the standard dictionary notation. In addition, we also provide a simple binary pitch diagram. The word written in furigana with lines below the characters to indicate low pitch and above to indicate high pitch. Okay. The end of the line indicates the pitch of the word that comes next. So, Heiban word, the line ends at the top. Konnichiwa, Tonaz. Konnichiwa. O genki desu ka? Let's see. Can't talk in sub-only mode. Yeah, I think it said to that you have to be subscribed to the channel to talk in it, which should hopefully stop against chat issues. Yeah, but you seem to be talking fine, so I don't know what you mean by that. I can see your messages okay. But yeah, but at the rate I can send only 3 or more messages. Oh, are you saying you can't? Oh, I see you. Oh, I see. You're using the subscriber only. Oh, you're saying you can't talk outside of subscriber only chat? That's strange. Let me see what my chat's looking like. Oh, I see what you. Okay, I'm looking at chat from a regular view. Can you say a message? And let me see what it shows. It'll probably do something different if I say the message. So can you say a message? Try redeeming another sub only. Let's see. Yeah, I can see my own messages. Subscribers only, chat only. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, my chat should have been set to followers only, not subscribers only. That's weird how it got changed. I wonder if Twitch changed people's settings. Okay, thank you for telling me that. When I log into the system, I have to see what's going on with my chat. That would explain why my chat got so quiet. I remember having more people talking in it. Yeah, I was having some chat issues with Twitch, and I wonder if it got changed around then. Where, like, when I was talking in other people's chat and no one could see my chat either. Though that seemed to have fixed itself after the ticket. Okay, thank you. Okay. I'll try to fix that after the stream. Thank you for pointing it out. Oh, here it is. There's a quick menu option right here that I can fix it with. Subscriber only chat. Let's turn that off. See, I don't see the setting for follower only. Oh, yeah, yeah, follower only chat 0 minutes. There you go. I'm not sure how that got turned on. Hashieru. I wonder how long that's been on. Okay, so continuing this. Let's see. Gurai. Forgot that word. Let's see. That was that's one of the, because of the kanji, I know what that word means, but I always forget how it's pronounced. It's ima and nichi put together, which makes oh no, that's kyo. Okay, I was thinking that's right. I was thinking ima and asa put together. Yeah, that's kyo. So kyo gurai ne. Gurai. Oh, approximately today. Oh, you had no trouble talking in chat previous days? Yeah, the word I was thinking about was let me here see what the Jisho says. Asa Kesa, yes, that's what it was. Kesa, yes. Kesa, which is Ima and Asa. Well, this morning. Oh, at least today, okay. Most Japanese dictionaries use the same notation for defining pitch. Okay, I already said this. Conshooter includes the standard dictionary notation. In addition, we also okay. In addition, we also provide a simple binary pitch diagram. The word written in furigana with lines below the characters to indicate low pitch and above to indicate high pitch. The end of the line indicates the pitch of the word after. Oh, I see. So, if you in Heiban, it'll be low high, but it'll have the high. It just terminates as high, and there's nothing after it. And atam atama daka, you have high low, and there's no like vertical character to that because it follows the pitch after that. And then in nakadaka, low high low, there's nothing after it because it follows the pitch after that. The only one with a change in pitch in the character after that would be Odaka. How to learn pitch accents. Okay. Congratulations, if you read this far, you've already taken the most important. Next is to train your ear to recognize these categories when you hear them. If you do that, your brain will start to classify words into the correct categories automatically as you hear words in context. You will find that this automatic learning will greatly reduce the amount of rote learning you need to do. Rote learning? Don't think I've heard that before. Let's see, rote learning. Let's see. Turner says, let's see, Ima nan o benkyo shiteru ka? Oh yes, I'm learning pitch accents today. Tan Tano uh ga, gamen de yonde iru so. Okay, so ta no gamen, another screen. Ta being screen. Gamen, I mean ta being another, and gamen being screen. Yeah, de yonde iru. So okay, so he's basically saying I see, so meaning like sort of being in agreement with, in other words, going with it. So I think it translates to I see you're reading from another screen or something like that, or you're reading from another screen. I think that's the best translation of that. Let's see. So ta no game, then sona no in to net neshon o benkyou shita koto ga nai yo. What? So at the end is used for low confidence observations. Okay, and his first thing was saying, it seems like you're reading from. Uh, es intonation. Let me translate that. Yeah, is that right? I've never studied intonation. Oh, intonation. Okay, intonation. Okay. Yes. So yeah, since this is the first lesson and I was going over the basics of intonation along with doing this practice exercise, though I think we spent more time going over the basics of it. All right, what was rote learning? Rote learning is memorization technique based on repetition. Okay. Oh, okay. So basically, you can learn more naturally if you're able to perceive intonations, and you won't have to do basically like book studying as much. You can actually learn from people talking around you. Is what it's saying. Yeah, you will find automatic learning will greatly reduce the amount of rote learning you need to do. However, some rote memorization will be necessary, in particular for easily confused words we list above. Study those carefully and test yourself on them. Finally, it's important to confirm that you can reproduce the correct accent even when you know it, and there is no better technique for that than mimicking correct pronunciation. If possible, have a native speaker listen and confirm your accent is correct, but if not, just record yourself and then listen to yourself along the original to identify where you need to improve. Now, this is it's actually quite useful, the fact that when I memorize words, I memorize the pronunciation with them. And I'm not just talking about like high and low pitch, but I've noticed that I memorize uh I'm not sure. I guess you could say the methodology of how they pronounce it. Like for example, do itashimashite. Uh, there's a I remember hearing that pronounced by the anime character Bell Dandy. Actually, when I remember that word, because that's when I first learned that word, and so I tend to pronounce it that way I heard it in that anime versus any other way to pronounce it, but still trying to keep the intonation the same. If that makes any sense on how I memorize words. So of all audio sam Oh, let's see. Tonaz was saying I probably should have used mitai. So yeah, I don't have my scene set up to actually show browsers. I generally try to avoid showing internet browsers when possible during my streams, because you never know what may pop up. So yeah, I was just reading off of something off the internet. Naruhodo. Yeah, I've been surprised at what has popped up sometimes when looking up for things during my Rosetta Stone series. It wasn't a surprise. It was only a surprise very rarely, but some unusual things did pop up. Let's see. I, Dian, no, I, Diane. I'm not sure what word that is. Oh, idea. Okay, yeah, idea. Idea net. That's a great idea. Okay. Yeah, yeah. A lot of things with words is I just realized that that was a hiragana katakana swap. I didn't even notice the swap. Okay, that would have been easy. But yeah, a lot of words, if you haven't seen them before, they make sense. The katakana words, they make sense if once you pronounce them at normal pace. But if you pronounce them syllable at a time, it sounds like some strange foreign word. Further study, okay. If all auto samples were created for us by all. Okay, Junko is. Oh, apparently these audio samples you've been hearing have been made by Junko, who is an associate professor in the Japanese language and was a radio announcer before then. Associate professor at Shinzuka. Okay, so in case you want to hear the voice again. Chikan. Chikan. Well, that's Heiban by the way. Okay. Okay. Well, that's a brief introduction into it. So let's get back to some practice. Okay. So let's see. 846. Let's do the next word. Me me. Me me. Me me. Me me. Let's see. This is an Nakadaka word, and this is saying it's a Heiban word, and this sounds like a Nakadaka. Me me. No, it was a Heiban. Me me. Me me. So 946. Okay. Saki ni. Saki ni. Saki ni. Saki ni. What's this? Ano. Oh, it turns out says Anoko o mei mei shita koto ga aru. Ano Anoko o mei mei shita koto ga aru. Not sure. Oh, okay. Anoshi o mei mei shita koto. Kanji definitely helps translations. Things like deep ale, that's for sure. I have named that kid. So, oh, oh, that's right. The other word for kid was just ko. Well, it's not one I use that often, but it was, yeah, we saw this somewhere during Rosetta Stone. Anoko o mei mei shita koto ga aru. Let's see, what is mei mei shita? Oh, naming. Okay, it was a question, so have you ever named that kid? What does that question even mean? Have you ever named that kid? I feel like there's context missing in that sentence. Sounds like a situation in which someone's... See, Mimi Suru it is to christen or to name something. Yes, yeah, I got that, but I didn't get that in the whole sentence together, though. I know you're using koto you're talking about the thing itself. So you're talking about the naming, thinking of it as a thing. A plain plus plus koto ga aru is the thing having done or have you ever. Ever been to Japan? Nihon ni ita koto ga arimasu ka? Okay, yeah, I get that in that sentence, but I don't get it in this previous sentence of have you ever named that kid? I'm not sure what you mean by that when you were saying that. Has you ever read a book? Hon o yanda koto ga aru? Oh, actually, the nouns, the pronouns are wrong. It's not have you ever named that kid. It's have you ever named a kid? Okay, I see the difference. See, I've been to Japan. Ita kota ga arimasu. And is the Japan in that sentence is being implied from the previous sentences. Ita koto ga arimasu. Okay, I see what you mean by that now. Saki ni. Okay, so this is a heiban, and this is a atamadaka. But this sounds like a. You can hear how ki it sounds slightly higher pitch than sa. And so this must be a heiban. Saki ni. Toriu. Toriu. Tori. Toriu. Tori. Okay, usually words with that are OU, and there's an. I think I've noticed that there tends to be a pitch drop there. So I guess that's cheating the fact that I'm not doing it by hearing it, but Toriu. So this is a atamadaka, and this says that it's heiban, but this sounds like an atamadaka. Toriu. 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 Hifu. 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 Okay, this says it's a heiban, and this says it's a atamadaka. Hifu. Okay. I think this is atamadaka. Okay. Seikon. 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 That ko sounds lower pitch, I think, so. Yeah, this says it's a atamadaka, and this says it's a heiban. Sounds lower pitch in the ko, so I think this is an atamadaka. Seikon. No, it's a heiban. Seikon. Wait, that's ko supposed to be higher pitch? Seikon. Seikon. Let's see. Tone says, if you want to study grammar specifically, I highly recommend Boon Pro. I'm almost done with their JLPT and 4 grammar stuff, and I must say a lot of the sentences are making sense now. I can read books now with the help of a dictionary. Torio is in my dictionary. Says low, high, high, high. Oh, I don't saw that comment too late. I don't remember what it is now. But the voice sample sounds like there is a high-low transition after to. And more than that high-low translation after to is how I would have said it myself. Seikon. Okay, let's. Yaku. 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 Okay, this one says it's an Odaka word. And this one says it's a Atamadaka. You notice it has that pitch drop after the word, meaning that it pitch drops in the particle. Yaku. Yaku. That sounds pretty even, so this is probably an Odaka. Yes. Hima. Hima. Okay, that's sounding Atamadaka. Hima. Ryo. 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 That sounds like Heiban. Yes. Shichu. Shichu. See, this says it's Nakadaka, and this says it's Heiban. And this sounds like Nakadaka. stew, 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 stew. Okay, this was Heiban. Stew, stew. Stigmata. Secon. Stigmata singular stigma or bodily marks, sores. Stigmata. That's oh, I see. I've never heard of this second definition for it before. A visible indicator of disease, a small bodily mark, like a birthmark or scar. I did not know it had that secondary definition. It's amazing how much English stuff I've learned trying to learn Japanese. Like for example, transitive and intransitive words, which I suspect is something only someone going into the study of languages would have heard about. Shichu, shichu, jocho, 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 jocho. Okay, this is Atamadaka, and this is Heiban. It sounds like Atamadaka. Okay, no, it's Heiban. Jocho, 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 saka, 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 saka. Okay, this is Odaku, and this is Atamadaka. So this sounds more Odaku. Saka. Yes. Nuki. 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 This is Heiban, and this is Atamadaka. Nuki. Nuki. Okay, so I think this is Atamataka. Yes. Sankaku. 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 I have a suspicion that any word that has the n sound as the second sound is never going to be a Nakadaka word. Sankaku. 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 I think this is Heiban. Yes. Ise. 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 So it's either Atamadaka or Heiban. I think it's Atamadaka. Ise. No, it's Heiban. Ise. Ise. Oh, if you ever forget the pronunciation for these words, that's actually what these lines here are for. This is a Heiban pronunciation. Bodaka pronunciation. You can see how it's that vertical line showing there's a drop for the particle. Atamadaka, high and then low. Nakadaka, which can be high for multiple syllables. Multiple syllables, which is why you see it as one or many. Ise. So Heiban. Ise. Suzu. 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 It sounds like Heiban. Choco. 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 It's either Atamataka or it's Heiban. Choco. I think it's Atamataka. No, it's Heiban again. Okay, so apparently there's a suggestion that I'm trying to listen for a difference and I'm just making up differences with this pitch being mostly flat, and I'm trying to just hear a difference in something that doesn't have it, okay? So the difference is going to be more pronounced than this. Choco. Momi. 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 Okay, so this is Atamadaka, so let's hear this again. Momi. 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 Turner says pitch accent's super frustrating. Fortunately, it's not a critical part of the language. Well, from my time when I went to Tokyo, I could definitely tell that the way I was pronouncing it, because even when I know I was making the general sounds correct, but not necessarily the pitch correct, or it could have been my cadence of how I said it, but I could tell people were having trouble understanding me with how I was pronouncing things. I suspect some of it was more of the cadence, like they're not used to hearing people sound out a word when talking to them. Oh, you're thinking it sounds like my cadence? Uh, yeah, it's like let's see. There's one example I remember in particular. Kaedi. I'm trying to remember what the other word was. That phrase you say when you're taking something home when ordering from a store. Kaedi something. Here, try reading this. だから平気だというか思ったよりも安いな。Okay, let's see what. Yeah, it sounds like broken Japanese. uh, I'm trying to remember. What was that phrase for saying when you were taking something home and you're not eating in the store? It was kaedi and then something else. Do you know what I'm talking about, Tarnes? I used it so much in Tokyo, I can't remember what it was now. See, do I even have any text to sound to try out right now? Let's see. I think I dispronounces stuff. I'll figure out something else later. Do you remember what I'm talking about, Tarnaz? That phrase saying you're bringing food home and it uses kaedi in it? See, see, tabemono. Oh, let's see, was it kaedi kaedi mochi? I think that was it. Tona says, when I was in Japan, usually people had no problem understanding me. And all I did was try to mimic the cadence that's common in anime. Yeah, kaedi mochi, take home, yes. Yes, I once put a pause after kaedi and then mochi, and they thought I was talking about the food item mochi for a moment, because they're not used to hearing kairi mochi with a pause in it. Yeah, mochi rice cakes. Yeah, they thought I was talking about mochi rice cakes. Let's see, if you need a pause for whatever reason, do it after a particle. Hmm. Yeah, usually my pauses come from me trying to think of what I'm saying, but I guess that makes sense if you're gonna do that. Stop to think what you're saying at particles, don't stop it at words. Okay, let's see, Kenso, Kenso, Ken, Kenso. I think this is Atamataka? Yes, okay. So, yeah, Tornaz says particles are great places to think about what you want to say next. And as long as you understand them innately, you don't really need to search for the correct verb to say until it's actually time to say it. Uh, so, and even if you make a mistake with them, as long as it's reasonable one, it's still pretty easy to understand you. Oh, I actually noticed something interesting with uh the better I found someone's English, the better they could handle the pausing of me pausing during words. So like for example, someone who knew English better could understand Kairi Mochi with a pause in it better than someone who didn't understand English as well. I thought that was interesting when I noticed that. Yeah, and also I I could just be oh, I just noticed I had my sound muted. You couldn't hear this program pronouncing.
英字、英字、
A G A G
英字、
A G. No, okay, yeah, it's Heiban. So see, Tona says when I'm talking with people from America in Japanese, it was pretty easy to understand them because the way they pronounce a consonant sound is the typical way that I do in English. Yeah, but yeah, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about when talking about people from Japan. The better their English was, the more they could handle pauses in Japanese, is what I noticed. And I'm not sure if maybe I was just seeing a pattern that wasn't there. But in some McDonald's that I frequented while in Japan, I noticed I started seeing the better English speakers as the cashiers. The more I uh, visited those places, wondering like, do they expect me coming in and just had preemptively had a cashier with better English on the register at that point? Well, kairi mochi is technically two different words. It's not a single word, though. But you're saying you see mochi kaeru. Let's see. So I wouldn't be surprised if that kairi mochi doesn't show in a dictionary. Let's see. To take home, to carry home, to bring home. Mochi kaeri. Kaeru. Okay, maybe I was thinking of another word. I know there was something I said with kaeri, and then oh, that's right. I think it was kaeri mochi. I said yeah because I was saying kaeri mochi ima. I think I was saying kaeri mochi imasu. Let's see. Kaeri mochi. Kaeri coming back. Oh, I may have actually had wrong grammar with that then. Okay. Yeah, I think I was saying, if I remember correctly, it was kaeri mochi. Oh, no, maybe not mochi, but, mo maybe I was saying kaeri motsu? Maybe that's what I was thinking about. Kaeri motsu imasu. Kaeri motsu imasu. Motsu, basically, uh, to have. Kaeri, to return. So, return with, basically. Maybe that's what I was saying. Kaeri motsu. Oh, that's what it was. Kairi mochimasu is what I said. That's right, because I tended to stay in polite Japanese. So kairi mochimasu. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was using mochi as a modifier. I was saying kairi mochimasu or mochimasu uh, to take to take with or to have, and then kairi returning. So returning while having something. Let's see. You're saying Tona is saying koko wa mochi kairi ga uh, dekimasu ka? See, do you take R out? R out. Anyway, can I order? Oh, take out. Oh yeah, can I order takeout here? Koko wa mochi kairi ga dekimasu ka? It's yeah. So mochi kairi. Okay. Uh, mochi kairi is takeout, but what about the phrase kairi mochimasu? Isn't that saying not so much saying takeout, but that you're bringing something with you? Like, oh, did I conjugate that? Mochimas isn't a word. I'm trying to do the polite imperative of motte. Wait. Oh, you're right. Oh, did you just find mochimas? Mochimas. Yeah, that should be the polite imperative of motsu. Yeah, that's actually yeah. Motsu does conjugate to mochimas in polite form. Yeah, so that's what I think I was saying. Kairi mochimas. Now, if that is that correct grammar though? Yeah, deep L is basically dropping the kairi from the translation altogether and is just translating mochimasu. So that means deep L doesn't like the way I put that together. Okay. Okay, well, その場合、英語に翻訳する to will you take it home になります。英語に翻 did you mistype that word? I see double N. What is hon? Oh, maybe not. Okay, honyaku. Honyaku. Oh, honyaku. Hon. Oh, did you mean to type a single in honyaku? Okay, well, okay, so I think I'm gonna end the stream here for today. So stick around for the raid. Is there any other final questions while I try to get this raid set up? Okay, let's find something. Yeah, Turner says I don't have any questions. I'm reading visual novels now, though. They seem to be a really good source of vocabulary. Uh, if you've seen my Koei streams, I've actually found they're nice for vocabulary as well. Teaching random nouns essentially throughout the Koei streams. Okay, so there's no one streaming in the Koei category. Let's see. Turnout says, okay, for N4 proficiency, it's like 300 things to review, which isn't bad. I mean, I learned 100 new words in the last 3 days. Yeah, I was thinking I might need to go to something more study-ish for learning words, because Koei, you don't learn words as fast, but it is good for practicing things in a non-study way. Oh, Tonai's also started reading 3 days ago, so that's part of it. Okay, I wonder if Kosu. Yeah, I doubt I'll find anyone on Twitch doing Kosu, so that's right into a Duolingo category. Okay, we're gonna rate Shoshi Rasaka. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really started watching the anime yet, because it's there's so much I don't know still. So it's kind of making it hard to actually do that. Yeah, I think I need to get my knowledge higher before I can really work on cadence, though, because I can't hear it to practice it. Well, well, what? No, no. The issue is more of when you have to look up that many words, it gets in the way of actually trying to study it, because I see all these conjugation mixes of words that don't make any sense to me. Well, I'm trying to get my Japanese to the point where I can actually practice. Oh, anyway, the raid's about to auto start now. Kyosuke, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.